Welcome to Royle Subjects, your go-to podcast for anyone trying to navigate the ever-changing world of real estate.
Come with us as we explore topics that are always relevant, never boring, and designed with you in mind.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Royle Subjects. I'm Sarah Fothergill.
And I'm Danielle Firth. And today's funnier fact is more of just a fun fact. I was only able to buy my house when I did because there is a tenant in the basement. So we live in a duplex conversion upstairs, and we're currently renovating it. Our tenant is very, very kind and understanding. We have chosen the route of him knowing that we are the landlords. Okay. But this brings us to our topic for today, which is house hacking.
Yeah.
When I first heard about house hacking, I thought I literally had to live with strangers living in rooms in my house.
Not the most desirable option at that current stage in your life.
Even not strangers. Like, you can rent out to people you know, but still, once you've moved out of that roommate phase, it's really, really hard to regress back into it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
However...
The shared kitchen, shared living room kind of dynamic.
Shared bathroom? Not fun.
I don't know, I gotta share with my husband. That's enough for me.
House hacking is just making money from your house. And there are so many creative ways to do that now. So... let's dive in.
Yeah, let's. So one of the most common ways to house hack is to rent out a space in your home. So for example, renting out a bedroom or renting out a portion of your home if you have an in-law suite or something like that. The other option that you can pursue is purchasing a duplex and renting out one half and living in the other. You can put a property management company in place so that the tenant doesn't know that you are the owner, kind of creates that 1 or 2 degrees of separation to kind of give you some distance. Or in your case, you've chosen to identify yourself as a landlord, which is fine as well. It just depends on what kind of situation you're in.
The other thing, too, is, you can rent out a space in your home through Airbnb.
Yeah. If you're the kind of person who travels a lot for work, you can still have someone living in your home for those designated periods of time. And I think that's a really great way, especially if you live in a place like Prince Edward County, right? Like, these are the kind of places where if you're not here over the winter months, maybe people want to cozy up in a really cute, cozy cottage for the winter, or maybe over Christmas, something like that.
That being said, there are licenses required with that. So you do have to get your short-term accommodations license, which has certain barriers and costs associated with it. If you're a first-time home buyer, you might not want to go through any of those things that we just talked about. You just got out of your roommate phase. You're renting on your own. Why would I buy if I have to regress? Yeah. Here are some other ideas that you can use to create income from your property. One of which being you buy a house and it has a garage. You have no need for a garage. You don't have tools. You don't need to create a home gym, and you don't really care about parking your vehicle in there. You can rent out your garage space. Yep. Alternatively, you live in a neighborhood with a high density of people living in it. You have a double car driveway and you only need one spot. You can rent out your parking spot monthly. When I was a student in Guelph, I rented an apartment and it had everything I needed except parking. I went door knocking in my neighborhood and asked everyone if they had an extra parking spot. I ended up paying $45 a month for parking.
Not bad.
And this was a long time ago. So I'm sure you could probably get a little bit more than that now. Alternatively, if you have a fenced-in yard and you're open to pets being there, there are websites and resources where you can allow access to your yard to pet owners who don't have green space. I mean, I don't know about you, but I would definitely be okay with somebody paying me to just use my yard for their dog as long as they clean up after themselves.
Yeah. I think a really important thing to remember about house hacking is that it's not for forever necessarily. It's for a very specific purpose. And I think that's something that in my own personal real estate investing journey, the mindset was something that I had to alter before I actually was able to get on board. And for those of you that maybe have a partner who is less on board with real estate investing or doesn't necessarily want to live with strangers or can't get over that dynamic, I totally get it because I was in that kind of headspace before as well. But these are the kind of benefits to where, first of all, recognizing it's not for forever. It's for a specific, maybe agree upon. It's for a specific amount of time or until we reach a specific monetary goal. Begin with the end in mind, I think, is a really great way to get over that mental hurdle of feeling like we have to make a sacrifice or have to live in a less favorable way in order to reach our goals. But ultimately, a lot of great things are on the other side of some challenges. You just have to push through them.
And sometimes it's easier to push through them when you can have that kind of goal of knowing, okay, we are going to buy this property, rent out this room, live as if we have roommates again for a year, but that will give us X number of dollars to be able to do this or whatever it may be. Kind of an extended version of house hacking is mortgage qualification. If you are meeting with your mortgage broker, professional, whoever it is, and they're saying that you can only qualify for X number of dollars, but you're open to living with someone in a duplex situation, if you can find a duplex that has one unit currently rented and the other one vacant, or both tenanted but one's willing to move out, then you can actually use the income from the tenanted unit to qualify. So if you're buying a duplex that is listed for $500,000 and one side is rented for $2,000, you've now added $2,000 a month to what you make on your income statement. Obviously, I'm not a mortgage professional, so you would want to go over the details with them. But if it's something you're open to, then there are creative ways to do this. And that's kind of, I say this all the time, but that's the goal of this episode, is to express that while it may seem out of reach, a lot of the times it's not. You just have to reframe your mind or rework how you're going to do it or what you're open to get yourself to that next step, which is home ownership.
Yep. I do. I think a lot of it, we've talked before about how real estate is numbers, but there's so much mental and emotional components to it. And I think that getting your mind right in terms of understanding your goals, your priorities, your objectives, and how are you going to get to that, and using real estate investing to get you to that. As somebody who was in that, kind of restricted, safe, scared mindset of wanting to make these changes, obviously now I look back and I cringe and I say, 10 years ago, Sarah, why were you not on board with this? Like, think about where your life could be if you got on board with it faster. And so, coming from someone who's been there and, recovered, take it from us, we get it. And in the same breath, don't be that person who is sitting on the other side of it going, man, why didn't I do this sooner? Take calculated risks, but take them, because there's a lot of greatness on the other side of it. It's just a matter of figuring it out and then going and doing it. And that's ultimately always what we're here to, encourage and promote, is to make calculated decisions, make good decisions, but make them.
Absolutely.
Right on.
I'm Danielle.
And I'm Sarah.
And we can't wait to talk to you next week. If you have any questions regarding real estate, please feel free to reach out at our website, theroylegroup.ca, or the Royle Group on any social media platforms.
See you around.